Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Sasaki to Pii-chan episode 10, in which hopefully Sasaki will finally reveal his plan on how to free Mark-san from the prison. Because yeah, the time is up and he better do it. He better do it. He probably has some plans, so it shouldn't be, you know, we shouldn't worry about that, but still, the tension is there, not gonna lie. Uh, in the previous episode, things have changed slightly. Because Mark is no longer just simply imprisoned, now he's scheduled for probably a very gruesome way of execution for his transgressions. So that's probably something we would like to avoid, right? It's no longer just a matter of him being imprisoned and we have however much time we want to bust him out. No, now there is a set deadline, and that's a big problem. Sasaki seems to have some plan, though. He put something in motion in the trading guilds at the capital. I'm still not sure what that is. He created an entire guild in Mark's name. I don't know what he's planning, but he's planning something. We'll see, I guess, what those plans are. He's also moving a lot of merchandise, a lot of gold, right? He asked Futari Shizuka to procure something for him. Probably something illegal. I don't know. Again, I have no clue what his plan is, but there is one. And he was supposed to give an answer to Count Dietrich, I believe is his name. Yeah, Count Dietrich. Because Dietrich asked him or told him that, yeah, I'm gonna free Mark if you promise to give me exclusivity over your wares. And Sasaki was given a deadline to make that decision. The deadline has now passed. Dietrich has gotten an answer, I believe, but we don't know what that answer is. He also got insight into the ledgers of the trading company that Mark works for, and whose owner schemed the whole thing together with Dietrich. And apparently he's not happy about those ledgers, because the owner of that company borrowed a lot of money from some bank. So the company is probably not doing quite as well as Dietrich expected. So he might be feeling a little bit cheated. And that's basically it. That's basically it. We don't really get that much insight into what's going on. The previous episode was very much a setup for what is to come, I feel. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see if that setup will see payoff. Probably will. I just wonder what kind, right? Anything else of import happened in the previous episode? Right. Otonari, I believe, is growing more and more suspicious because she noticed she never saw Sasaki coming back from work, but then he was talking to someone out loud inside and then exited the home alone with Pierre, with his bird. So Otonari is growing more and more suspicious. She knows that he works for some sort of a government agency, probably already, because the agents just outright spoke about it. So I wonder where that is going to go, where her route is going to take her. I really wonder about that, because she's important. She's in the opening. She's placed in parallel to Elsa. There's a crown next to her, etc., etc. And in the show itself, she's just that weird yandere neighbor who just doesn't really have any role in the main story, so I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. And yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I wonder what this episode is going to be, whether the issue of Mark's imprisonment and execution will be resolved, or maybe it's going to be something that we keep for the finale, because there has to be a finale of some sort, right? And it would be prudent to have the finale be something important, something big, something bombastic. Probably not a fight. I don't think it's a show that would have a finale be a big fight with a big bad. There isn't a big bad in the first place. So, I don't know. I wonder. We'll see. And to watch this episode, you're gonna need your subs, of course. Oh, I was speaking with the subs all this time, right? And nobody told me. You're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 10 of Sasaki to Pii-chan in 3, 2, 1, go. I thought French is waiting for Sasaki coming here with news, but are they meeting with Dietrich? They absolutely are. Oh? Okay. So I guess Sasaki's plan worked, or has the potential to work? Because it's my restaurant. Yeah. That was some nice hair animation. Credit where it's due. And Prince Adonis. Hello. Okay, so Sasaki called in a favor. Why not? I mean, there's a dispute between two counts who's better to mediate than a royalty member placed higher than them, right? Makes perfect sense. Actually makes perfect sense. And I think my camera is overblown a little bit. I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be good enough. I really can't wear just black clothes because my camera really doesn't like it. It just turns my face white because it thinks it's really dark inside, because this is black, this is black, this is black. I know, maybe I need to like light up the background or something. Actually, not a bad idea. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention it. There's a poll running currently for what show I'm gonna watch after Madoka Magica ended. It's running until Monday, so if you want to vote, there's not much time, but you can still make it. There's 3 votes, so you can still skew it if you want. Details on my Patreon and in the video on YouTube. And on the Discord, so, you know, here is the invite and also in the description. Did Sasaki order fucking cyanide from Shizuka? Is that why he needed a fence? I mean, with your current king, there isn't really much future to be had, but that's like another matter. Okay, there are other people than just French working here. I was wondering, honestly. Did Miller and Dietrich just come to an agreement on something? Did I get it right? Ah, gotta butter him up, of course. Okay. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves with whatever, but because he already promised to sell it to me? Or... Please do. It's a matter of national security? Or... Okay, defer to Adonis. Makes sense. Yeah, and Dietrich really wouldn't want to step on Adonis's shoes, would he? Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, use Adonis as cover. Makes perfect sense, actually. A coffer of gold. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, he is. Hmm. I mean, yes, he heard you, and he probably has enough, or will have shortly. uh, Even he knows how unreasonable it is by giving him a year. Like, he realizes. That's great. He realizes how ridiculous it is that he's asking. Yeah, he doesn't need a year. I mean, yes, partially, but not with this. And also with the wares that Sasaki is carrying, earning that much back is like no biggie. And yeah, I'm doing it for the benefit of the kingdom, right? As opposed to you, who wants to hurt the kingdom with your actions in front of the prince. Yeah, he can into politics, all right. He can into politics. The prince isn't there just as a mediator. He's here to bear witness to what's happening. I have a restaurant here, right? And yeah, Pierre's homeland. Exactly. Do you not care about the kingdom? Are you not a count of the kingdom? Ah, putting Dietrich in the worst light possible. Oh, okay. We can have a redemption arc. Okay. Well, that was easy. Sasaki's Toku no Jutsu is crazy. Yes, probably. And he doesn't want his employee to be like regarded higher than himself, right? That's the biggest deal here. That's how everything started in the first place. Who? Do you have any proof of your agreement? The cyanide has been served. Whomst? Oh, it's the merchant. What do you need? Yeah. Not a part of Sasaki's plan either. A count showing this much reverence towards a merchant? Is Joseph also a noble? What? Are trading companies like basically shadow governments, or what's going on here? Okay, so they are like worldwide. Huh. Okay. I guess that explains the reverence. Ah. Has been Oh. Oh. Who could it be, I wonder? Okay, so Joseph also did some work on his own. Hmm. I mean, yeah, it's just, whatever. Coincidental, really. Okay. Now, Sasaki essentially holds them by the balls. In the carriage, imprisoned still, close to being executed. I think I'm gonna really have to go through this episode again to fully understand what just happened. You're the head of a trading company now. Oh, I thought the company is going to be run by Sasaki, but simply in Mark's name, and Mark would be like the poster boy. But no, it seems like it's actually going to be Mark's company that Sasaki kind of gives him. I mean, yeah, that was probably the plan from the beginning, so. Hmm, okay. And that's where Miller went with his son. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get a full and proper explanation. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. That's probably why he went for 1,000 big gold coins. What's in the truck? Oh, just items for sale. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also to the benefit of his own, so of course he would act. That's when French had cyanide prepared. Let's indulge with everybody then. I'm pretty sure French would be able to prepare it. A good point, actually. This episode really seemed very short. Basically, just one thing happened, didn't it? It was 20 minutes of a meeting around a restaurant table. I really thought about it many times. But this 12 episode show really has the pacing of something that would be 24 episodes long at times. Not always, but at times it really does. Hmm. I guess they. Sorry. Coffee hasn't started working yet. I guess they, like, couldn't really shorten it, right? Because they couldn't. But it's still interesting how not necessarily slow, but how methodical the pacing can be at times. Okay, after credits scene. Who's calling? Shizuka? Running from someone? Yeah, probably. Did she go after the dude that Akutsu told her to go after, and it didn't go as well as she planned? Or is she being chased by Magical Pink? Huh, interesting. Okay. Okay, let's watch this episode again. Huh. I guess we have the material for the finale, right? Like a two-part finale, fighting someone that even Futari Shizuka is on a run from. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. Just act normal. Yeah, the entire episode is just them talking around the table. Everybody's here, including Adonis. Right. So he did call in a favor from Adonis. There was some discussion about like the previous episode on Reddit r/anime that Sasaki should just go to Adonis and why he shouldn't and stuff like that. And turns out that he actually did go to Adonis, not to just solve the issue, right? Not to just issue a princely decree or anything like that, but to bear witness to Dietrich's humiliation, essentially, and to be a third party to observe it, right? So Dietrich cannot use any whatever underhanded tactics or something like that. And yeah, he's just here for the food, or so he claims. Apparently, Dietrich has some idea how to make the country better, the kingdom better, and Miller agrees. I guess this was supposed to show Dietrich's, whatchamacallit? Patriotism? Right? Because it was mentioned later that Sasaki used it, and Sasaki used it against him. I guess this was supposed to show that ultimately Dietrich does want to do things for the benefit of the kingdom, not just for his own, and he simply lost his way because of Hermann. Yeah, I guess that's what it's supposed to show. It's not doing the best at it, but yeah, now in hindsight, I see. I guess I can see where it's going. And it makes sense. It makes sense. It also makes his. It also makes Dietrich's like turning around at the end make more sense as well. So yeah, it works. It works. Yeah, Dietrich might be a supporter of the first prince, yeah, but he ultimately respects the entire royal family. He opposes Adonis's like rise to being the king, but not because he has a grudge against Adonis or whatever. He simply believes in the other prince more for whatever reason. And if the other prince was out of the picture, he would probably be supporting Adonis, right? Because Adonis is the rightful heir, so he would of course support the rightful heir, right? That's what I'm getting here. Yeah. Free Mark. I sell my wares entirely at His Highness's discretion. Does he? He does. Yeah, he was. Wait. Did he go for an audience with the king? Or was it just audience with Miller? He was at an audience. I think it was with Miller. With the king, I'm not sure. He might have been. He might have gotten an audience with him. I know. I don't know whether it's actually something that happened in the past, or is it something that Sasaki just predicted that Dietrich would want his wares exclusively, so ahead of time he went to Adonis to like create the situation where he's only selling the wares through the grace of Adonis. So in case, right? in case Dietrich wants his wares, he has a ready-made excuse why he cannot offer them. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's either of those two, both work, so it's not much of a difference, really. Only sell to those that I can fully trust. Right. That's why he deals with the Herman Company, because he trusts Mark. Different price. 1,000 large gold coins. It's apparently very much, but probably not that much for Sasaki. I love this. I really do love this moment. I expect this payment with all due haste. I don't want to wait years. You're gonna have it ready in a year. No, within the year, right? It's great because I fully expected him to make a completely unreasonable request, right? I want 1,000 large gold coins by tomorrow. Because he knows that Sasaki won't be able to do that, so that he will be able to execute Mark. But no. He has financial issues, as we learn later on, because of the war. So he needs the money. And he actually wants to ensure that his ridiculous request will be fulfilled. If it saves Mark, it's like whatever, but 1,000 large gold coins within a year, that's probably more than his county can produce, can make, can earn in a year. Probably more than it can make in a decade, and it would save his ass. So he makes a ridiculous requirement, but gives a sane time span to fulfill it. It's cool. I like it. I really do like it. Yeah, 500 ready today, and 500 in a week. He's going to bring great fortune not just to me, but to the entire Kingdom of Hertz in the future. The kingdom is in a dire situation. Mark will bolster your nation. Yeah, appeal to the patriotism. To lose him now would be an unbearable loss. Right. Appeal to patriotism in the presence of the prince, no less. Right? It paints Sasaki in a light of, a great supporter of the Kingdom of Hertz. Someone who wants to do things for the benefit of Kingdom of Hertz. Someone for whom Kingdom of Hertz is close and who wants all the best for it, who realizes what is the best for it, and is prepared to pay the price for the country that isn't even his own, right? How good Sasaki is, how great of a citizen. He instantly falls into even better graces of Adonis. And at the same time, it paints Dietrich in the light of, oh, he wants to execute the man who would bring so much good to the Kingdom of Hertz. For what? For his pride? He takes his pride higher than the good of the country. He's not a patriot. He only thinks of his own, of the slight that he suffered at the hands of a merchant that might save this country. Would you truly have him executed, right? It really achieves two things. I don't know if it was Sasaki's idea to do that, to paint himself in such a great light and paint Dietrich in a negative light this much, or not, but I would say it achieved it regardless. It's entirely possible that Sasaki's goal here was entirely just appeal to Dietrich's why am I constantly forgetting this word? Patriotism. To Dietrich's patriotism. Could be. Very well could be. And it also succeeded in that. But it also painted them in different lights. You're a foreigner? Why are you so concerned? Yeah, because it's a country that my friends are in. And it's a country I have business in. I have my restaurant. I have my, acquaintances. And, yeah. Are you not fellow nobles of the Kingdom of Hertz? Would you not think of the kingdom? Yeah, of course I would. Of course, I never expected a foreigner to have a better understanding of the benefit of the country than us, nobles of said country. I forgot myself, I lost my way, and let me make amends. Worked surprisingly well. Yeah, I've only been serving my own interests. I shall release the merchant immediately. I'll pass this on to a higher ranking nobles in the First Prince's faction, beginning with Marquis Ko. So is a Marquis higher than a Count? I guess. If you renege on our agreement, do you have any proof of that agreement? Right? That's also a thing. You can say whatever you want, but do you have proof? Because I don't think you do. You usually don't create a contract when doing shady business like that. I really don't think you have it in writing that in exchange for executing Merchant Mark, I promise to support Count Dietrich in his plan to overthrow the kingdom and take the crown. Right? Like, I really don't think a document like that exists, because it would incriminate them both. So it's just word against word. And yeah, Joseph is here apparently. It feels weird. It felt weird initially for someone like, you know, just a normal, regular, random merchant to intrude on a meeting of two counts and a crown prince. Well, Adonis isn't a crown prince, but, you know, two counts and a prince. But it makes sense because Joseph is the head of a power that stands essentially equal to the power of a country, but spanning multiple countries. Head of the Kepler Trading Company in the Republic. Okay, so he's the head just for the Republic of Lung. Gotcha. So wait, the Republic of Lung and the Kingdom of Hertz are like two separate countries, right? So Sasaki is doing business at Lung and not at the Kingdom of Hertz. What are the geopolitics of this world? I'm kind of lost here, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Because for someone who speaks so much about the Kingdom of Hertz, he does an awful lot of business at the Republic of Lung. Or is the kingdom part of the Republic? Is that it? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I was really wondering why the reverence to just a random merchant from... He might be a merchant from the capital and an owner of the trading company, but still, why so much reverence towards him, even from the prince himself? But yeah, apparently, it's a worldwide business. The power held by the Republic of Lunge is magnitudes greater than that of the Kingdom of Hertz. Okay, so the Republic of Lunge is bigger than the Kingdom of Hertz, and Republic of Lunge has Kepler Trading Company. Why would the Kepler Trading Company be involved in the Kingdom of Hertz? Then why would a representative of the Lunge Trading Company be involved in the business in Kingdom of Hertz, buying out their debts and all? Yeah, I'm not getting something here. From a modern democracy and royalty from a feudal monarchy. Okay, so they are two different countries. Gotcha. And it really seems like the Kepler Trading Company alone, not just the whole Republic of Lunga, but just the trading company alone, already warrants reverence from, and respect at least, from the heads of a neighboring kingdom, which speaks volumes about how comparatively weak the kingdom of Hertz is, which is no surprise with a king like that, and speaks volumes to just how powerful and influential the Kepler company is. Loan you were issued for our move to the capital. Someone purchased the debt without consulting us. Right, so now Joseph owns the debts of Hermann and Dietrich. So I opted to acquire the draft and the loan, right? And yeah, while you were at it, it was just really an afterthought. Just, you know, I had some spare change, so I just purchased their debts. It's no big deal, really. I make worse purchases. The business appeared deeply connected to the count. I thought it would make a perfect branch for the Mark Trading Company. So, like, the Hermann Trading Company would dissolve and the Mark Trading Company would take over their locations? Is that what's being said here? I'm not sure. Should they ever fail to pay, it will all go to you. Why? You purchased those debts, not Sasaki. Or is it that Hermann took the debt as, I don't know, mortgage for his trading company, so that if he fails to pay the debt, then his company goes to the debt holder? But that would still be Joseph, not Sasaki. I'm not sure what's going on here. Not entirely. Or did he purchase the debt and just passed it on to Sasaki, right? Like, gave it to him. Maybe. What is the Mark Trading Company, right? New trading company in Lunge. Not in the Kingdom of Hertz. Why? I intend to have it handle distribution of all my wares in the future with a market size of Lunge, but you just said that you are, like, loyal to the Kingdom of Hertz, essentially, not in those exact words. And that you want the benefit of the Kingdom of Hertz, so you do your trading here, with the approval of the king and all. And now you want to move your business to Lunge? What is going on? It would work if my assumption that Kingdom of Hertz is a part of the Republic of Lunge was true. But I'm not sure about that. Or is it like, we're gonna be trading in the Republic of Lunge, but the whatever we earn, we will bring that to the Kingdom of Hertz, thus draining Lunge's economy and bringing it to Hertz? But it would be at the cost of selling items that were so far exclusive to Hertz in a different place. Your potential enemies, the kingdom's potential enemies, would be able to get their hands on the transceivers, for example. And that would skew the balance of power against the Kingdom of Hertz, because they would no longer have the benefit of otherworldly technology. They would no longer have the benefit of being the sole owners of otherworldly technology, rather. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, honestly. And yeah, Mark gets the company. Nice beer after all is done. And yeah, the full plan. First, go to Adonis, enlist his help. And that's where Miller and his son went. Makes sense. And I do serve as a knight. Right, he was knighted, so he was at an audience with the king. Right, makes sense. No. Right. He was appointed like a royal treasurer of Adonis or something along those lines, right? That was it. That was it. Right. I didn't feel great about using the Count's patriotism against him. But yeah, of course, Adonis's words would have great effect because he is a patriot. And they would want money because they have debts. So I prepared the money by selling a lot of stock from Shizuka. And also had Joseph look into those debts. And not expecting him to procure them. Okay, so everything worked out without having to resort to force. And yeah, no thanks necessary for Pierre, really. Like, I mean, legit, he didn't really do much here. He really didn't. It was all Sasaki. And yeah, let's celebrate a job well done. And for the first time, we actually see an after-credits scene. Sasaki coming back home. I fully expected, like, Otonari hiding behind the curtains. In this shot, I fully expected Otonari to be hiding there and witnessing him teleport or something like that. Futari Shizuka. Sorry, I'm in a hurry and I need your help. What could it be that has her so scared? It would be either magical girls chasing her, girl, or girls plural, or it could be the one she was ordered to assassinate not being an easy target after all. I know, could be either. We'll see next week, I guess. Alrighty. So, this was a nice episode. Certainly not up for everybody's tastes, right? It was a lot of talking, it was a lot of politicking, it was a lot of diplomacy, and I can see some people not being into it. I myself would rather we don't get that many episodes in this style, but this episode was perfectly fine. Unless it's overdone, yeah, it's fun. It's fine. Anything else to say in particular? Like, all things considered, not that much has happened in this episode, really. All that happened was Mark got freed. What's his face? Dietrich and Hermann were humbled. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm still not entirely sure of the full extent of what happened. Like, I get the gist of it, but I guess my lack of knowledge about the geopolitics of the world just kind of hamper my ability to understand what just happened. I still don't know why would Sasaki make a company in the Republic instead of the Kingdom. I don't know. Many shows, whenever there is something going on with politics, they show on the screen like the map of the world, and they highlight that this is the Kingdom of Hertz, this is the Republic of Lunga. Between them, there is a duchy of whatever, right? And we have a nice lookout at how things work, or we get an explanation of Kingdom of Hertz is a part of Republic of Lunga, or stuff like that. We didn't get any of that sort of visual aid in this case. It was just people sitting around the table talking. It still went like surprisingly well. This episode was surprisingly smooth, I guess I could say. It didn't really feel like 20 something minutes of just talking around the table. It really did not. Well, I guess it wasn't 20 something minutes, it was close to like 10 or 15. actually. Yeah, 18-ish minutes of talking around the table. I fully expected there to be something else even after they stopped talking, because there couldn't be just a whole episode talking, could there? The time couldn't have gone this quickly, could it? But it did. And in retrospect, I even found it hard to believe that I wasn't bored. I didn't feel like the time was, like it was dragging. And usually I would. Usually I'm not a huge fan of episodes that are just talking. But this somehow worked. I guess because it managed to engage my brain into trying to explain what's going on. Into trying to understand what's going on, rather. Yeah, I guess it might be it. Very often when an episode is just talking, it's talking because of info dumping. And that just gets boring because they just explain things to you. In this case, no. In this case, there wasn't so much explaining as there was actual politicking, and it required me to understand and to think of what's going on, so it worked surprisingly well. I wonder what the next 2 episodes are going to be. Something to do with Futari Shizuka, so I fully expect it to take place entirely in Japan. This little Mark arc, rhyme, Mark arc is essentially done, so I guess it is time to spend some time in Japan now, and it will be saving Futari Shizuka's ass from what exactly? Who exactly? I wonder. And how exactly? That's also a very good question, isn't it? I wonder whether we will see more of Otonari. We only have 2 more episodes left, or is it like 13? No, just 12. I wonder if we're gonna see more of Otonari. I would fully expect it, because, again, she seems fairly significant in how she is portrayed in the opening, but she didn't really have any time to shine whatsoever. She's essentially a background character. I wonder if maybe they kind of did it, placed her in the opening like ahead of time, like maybe she gets a bigger role in the next volume, so to speak, right? This adaptation won't get as far, but should the show get a second season, we would witness Otonari's arc. I know, I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I like this episode in general, so I guess that's all that matters. And I think that's gonna be it for me talking right now. So you guys, you tell me, how did you like this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? Did you understand something more of what's been going on? And if so, I would be grateful for an explanation. No spoilers though. Please, no spoilers. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. Like this video if you did. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Sasaki to Pii-chan, but also Shangri-La, Frontier, Frieren, Majo to Yajuu, Metallic, Rouge, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows. For $5 you get to decide what those shows will be, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via membership, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Survivor, Zayrainer, Michael Spaulding, Marco San, Dr. Watt, Akomancer, Marsh, Gala, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to do any merchant politics.